Okay, raw stock. No. Sorry. That's just usually what comes out of my mouth. Usually, all right. Let's go with the review. Raw stock. Eh, what happened? Of course, the main event was the New Day against MVP and Lashley to build over Kofi Kingston's boring ass feud with Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. We had a Miz TV that felt like something from 2015. I remember it was billed for the world title tournament when Rollins got his ass injured. So they had nearly every contender into the ring, but they had the baby faces interrupt. This was nearly the same formula. But here's the thing, nobody was over. There's no fans, and there was no point doing it for a guy that wasn't even competing. So Ricochet came over, it ended in a brawl when it came to Styles taking out Riddle. That okay, he messed up his leg on the last Raw episode that I did not review but I watched. He he went for a kick and messed up his ankle. He sells that foot injury with doing the flip flop thing that requires jumping. Also, that's giving more weight over to the into the leg and climbing up a ladder that requires a whole lot of strength to do with an injured foot. Logic. What is that? So, Styles messes up his leg. Then they book over a match, of course, with the contenders for the Money in the Bank ladder match, all because they're already in a match stipulation. They have to wrestle each other just for chemistry reasons. The logic. Oh God, kill me! I know they're gonna do a six-man tag involving the heels and faces come the go home show, so nothing about these matches ever feel presumptively more interesting. The segment was so forgettable. Just to enlist a Ricochet and John Morrison rematch, and they're gonna do it the next week. It's gonna be False Count Anywhere, so we're gonna have a presumptive winner. Oh, it's already annoying enough that we have so much talent, yet we still want to do these rematches that don't go anywhere. When somebody already loses clean because of good reasoning. So what? This match ended in a double count out after Morrison, even though Morrison came into the ring first, but it looked like he miscounted with Miz trying to hold back Ricochet over the wheelchair. It felt like the same match. It felt like the same match, except you didn't get that big crossbody. It wasn't like they were trying to outdo each other whenever it comes to rematching, and especially with trying to be the mid card. Ricochet should be trying to make sure he stands out more by doing more crazy stuff to make sure that there's a reason to watch Raw. You're a mid carder, so that means you have to make yourself more presumptively more must see when it comes to being shown over on weekly TV because Lesnar will always be a big draw for pay per view, but whenever it comes to the mid card, you want to make sure that you're big to see on a weekly basis. But Ricochet doesn't do that, just so they can push over the bill and make sure these rematches mean something. It's really repetitive. I'm not saying that these guys can't make a good match, but whenever you get repetitive crap like this, it makes having them rematch just every 1 week later just makes it feel worthless. Next up, we had Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. We had an 8-woman tag. Nikki Cross was probably the worst goddamn promo ever. Alexa Bliss even did the segment with them. She was like over in the background after the segment before involving Jinder Mahal and a freaking motorcycle. I don't get it, and I don't care. Nikki Cross, oh, change a dream, and why is she still her thick ass accent when you're supposed to be a superhero? So what's the gimmick of? She's not even called Nikki Cross anymore. Nikki Ash is her new name. Literally, the promo was so garbage. Oscar, yeah! And Naomi like, I'ma just be here because you showing so much confidence, but don't be for show. Because I sloppy toppy Jay tonight, last night, so I'm obviously gonna be at least the last person on the ladder to get a shot in Money in the Bank because hashtag give Naomi a chance. It's just this retard black girl with just a big butt with little black girl church hair that shows no charisma. You bring over a segment where it's supposed to be showing every person's personality and, of course, build over to the pay per view. And Nikki Cross sounded like an idiot. The only thing is that her lower half looks good in that superhero costume. Asuka, I don't mind Asuka, but she looks so unpresentable. Why does she still have that vomit green on her face? What's with her still with these annoying catchphrases like "No one's ready for Asuka," like on some anime shit, and Naomi just feels like she's just there even though she's supposed to be a colorful person. No, she just wears colorful clothes with no personality. It's really annoying. Ugh. And then we had the match where technically it felt like just a regular match. Nikki Cross would try to overpower. There seemed to be a no Jedi mind tricks off Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross gets a decent little hot tag. Naomi, I don't think I saw much offense from her, and it ends with a Samoan drop on Nikki Ash. So, and then Eva Marie came over on the mic and issued that she won by the displeasure of Nia Jax. You know how to always make sure that your women's division is this undervalued? You always make multi-person tags for them instead of actually bringing more interesting match stipulations. And no, I'm not asking for a gauntlet match, but make sure that their match stipulations mean anything. Especially if we're trying to make a multi-tag match, make sure that most of these women are over, because I'm sure half of these women are over other than their Stan Twitter fans. I really don't care about this match. Next we had, of course, the Mustafa Ali against Mansoor. And this came over. You eliminated me from the Battle Royal. These guys were in the tag team. I don't really care about their match. All I know is they made Ali win over roll up, all because they went a bit over Mansoor. Two Indian guys with no personality, with a roll up finish over, I guess, Mansoor's first legit feud. Great, makes a lot of sense. Literally, Mansoor looks like a citizen. He looks like a citizen. He looks like Big Bang Theory. Yeah, he looks like the Indian dude from the Big Bang Theory about to score an interview. What's with this guy? He is so boring. Literally, he's supposed to be a character. They never, like. And here's the thing that they don't do anymore in WWE. They never elicit real vignettes whenever they show their new wrestlers. The only person that they were emphasizing any hype for was Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley barely has much going for her. Yeah, sure, I guess without the makeup, without that black lipstick and stuff, she's an alright looking chick, but she's just so boring. Nothing about those vignettes elicited why she wanted to be a wrestler, why she came to the WWE, why she's so special. All it is NXT star. All because you say she's an NXT star doesn't make her a big deal, and I hope you people understand that. Really boring. We had like eight matches on TV, and some of these lasted for either 3 or 50 or 20 minutes. You should be making some of these matches last under 5 or 10, and make sure that the rest coincide with segments to make sure that the show actually feels like a TV show. Nobody cares about a wrestling show. Monday Raw's a TV show. I don't care what anybody says. It makes more sense. I don't want to see Lucha House Party versus T-Bar and Mace on TV. They barely elicited anything involving T-Bar and Mace. They had some dominance over most of the match. Then it ends with Lindsay Dorada doing a comeback off an Irish whip, and then coming back with a Hurricane Rana for a pin. So you're already eliciting that these guys aren't that important to lose to somebody like the Lucha House Party. That's like the only highlighted in their career was literally feuding with Lars Sullivan. That's been part of a gay porn, and also we have Drew McIntyre against Jinder Mahal. Hey, 3MB with McIntyre's, of course. I'm Scottish, and all the warriors coming out from the outside of the crowd, all telling me. It ended with Veer and Shanky, or Jinder Mahal Jr. with and Hindi Elias coming out interfering after a backward assault while the ref was focusing on Jinder. It was an average back and forth match. I wouldn't rewatch it because I really don't care what kind of program they're gonna have with McIntyre, and just ending it over on DQ just undervalues it. I understand you probably don't want Jinder to lose or Drew to lose at that time, but like, who really cares? Next, we had Riddle versus Styles. Match was alright. Pretty good. Selling over the foot. There's distraction over with the Viking Raiders. Omos trying to pull over Riddle nearly for a quick pin. It ends off a schoolboy. Of course, we have another roll up, DQ. Oh man, this is already not looking good, bro. Like the most powerful move. Like you make sure everybody doesn't feel like they can always win with their own finish. You undersell anything going on with a person's injury. It doesn't make it feel more realistic or fun. It just makes it look boring, especially when the finish is not over. You have to make sure that all they can do to make sure that the match looks a bit more quicker is a roll up. Like I swear to God, the last 3 weeks of TV, half of the matches were won by roll up. Cool Michinoku driver, knee strike, barely selling over the leg, and there was some decent focusing over to the leg. Riddle looked fine. I did not like the Damian Priest segment with him, like the most devastating letters, three most devastating letters in wrestling entertainment, and whatever he said. Okay, bro, it didn't look fun. I guess I was trying to treat him like an idiot. I don't care. He was trying to treat him like Orton was dead or something. Damian Priest just felt like such a side character now over him, like having a program with The Miz, even though The Miz doesn't make you a legit star. Whoever told me that The Miz made having a program with The Miz made you a big star, ask Apollo Crews why it took him now to actually get a good gimmick. Miz doesn't elevate anything. Except the only thing Miz elevates is his children if they want to lift. That's it. So, also we have Charlotte Flair literally doing Star Wars shit with crutches, trying to play under an injury. But this was barely sold over the last week after their tag team match. And with Rhea Ripley trying to mock her with the crutch. Then they started battling with the crutch. Rhea Ripley looked over. I nearly forgot who was the heel, so I guess they're trying to transition Charlotte forcefully over to the heel. So how is that supposed to get the young upstart over that barely has that much of any semblance of a TV presence? And you just force her over to be the punk rock heel bitch, even though Charlotte's the heel. I don't get it. I'm not looking for. At least I guess they have a better build on SmackDown with Bayley and Bianca, but I hate Bianca Belair's character as well. Next up, we had Jackson Riker and R-Truth against Cedric Alexander and Elias. Poor Elias still with these, like, swear to God, Riker's getting these PTSD flashbacks every time he feuds with Elias and not looking good in the process. And Cedric literally coming out of being a major heel faction on Raw to just jobbing out to Cedric, jobbing out to Jeff Hardy, literally just having these. And Jeff wasn't even on TV. After Elias got scared of Riker, and Akira Tozawa ran out over to the ring to, to score pin over to R-Truth because, yeah, I forgot that the 24/7 title was relevant. Like, it really wasn't relevant because because they always make it repetitive now because, of course, Akira Tozawa is over or something. Please release this guy and get rid of his ninja gimmick. I don't want to see him anymore on TV. He looks like a scruffed rat that owns a bodega. Get him away from me. Fucking Ratatouille sex offender. Cedric gets left for dead, and Elias ends with a fallaway slam, and Riker scores a fallaway slam for the victory. So they're trying to sell over a match, probably another Symphony of Destruction match for Elias and Riker, to the dismay of everybody, because nobody cares. Like, I'm being really serious. Nothing about this show felt that eventful, hyping over to the pay-per-view. Even the tag team match, that's literally Kofi getting redemption over Xavier Woods, that ends, yet again, off another roll-up. So it felt like they were just going for the motions. Couple signatures off MVP, playing like Lashley looked dominant with the consistent promos going over why Kofi shouldn't be there. Kingston calling MVP soft. I mean Lashley soft, and Lashley just coming around manhandling these two scuffed homosexual black men. Other than that, Xavier Kofi scores the Trouble in Paradise on. Yeah, so I was wrong about that. I apologize. Uh, he scores Trouble in Paradise over MVP after missing a maneuver, ending with the New Day getting on top and getting some momentum for next week. I don't really care. This show is boring. SmackDown scored over 1.7 after not getting their top star in the show and kind of blowing off already. Like blowing off a Hell in a Cell match like it was just a regular stipulation. Hell, I swear they could have brought back the Punjabi prison that could have garnered back a better rating. This show was mediocre. I understand people think, oh, they have qualifying matches, so every match on Raw feels important. You guys were not like last year. It feels like the women's division has stepped down completely. I forgot where Sheamus is. I don't think they even emphasized that they even had a United States champion. They never rule out whenever their champions are even absent over to the show. Styles looked more of a mid-carder. They barely sell over the match stipulation anyway for the Money in the Bank to even be that important. If every jobber over under the sun keeps whining about not qualifying for it, and just the tag team match just felt so forgettable. Sure, some of these matches were all right, but none of them felt like okay. I'll probably watch back on this 3-hour show to see one decent match that ends in a DQ or a count out or 3 roll ups in a TV show. Bro, give me some crazy moments. Have somebody come up in a car. Have somebody jump. Have Drew McIntyre bust somebody's motorcycle with a sword. Do some outlandish stuff. You're a TV show. You're supposed to be making every show feel like I'm not supposed to miss it. No one's expecting a show to be 10 out of 10. But hell, even shit PG era shows still had some moments where it felt like, okay, I'll watch back on this moment. So there shouldn't be an excuse. And don't you dare say, well, it's PG. You can make a good PG show. No one's excusing that. Back in 1997, 1996, like predate of Austin even being a top star yet, when they were still doing Raw is War, Raw was still relatively for primarily younger audiences. They weren't targeting off young adults, teenagers, morally mature crowds than what they were back in the day. And guess what? I could still watch that. Why can't Raw do that? So yeah, something that doesn't even we were still technically new generation, and that is still must watch than Raw right now. It felt like just a boring wrestling show. So that's it coming from me, and welcome back to the Raw reviews, folks. Get ready to suffer. That's it coming from me.